and just enjoying life. That's pretty much it.
I want to get your thoughts. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about actually what happened with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, man. You fought Errol, but what'd you think overall of the whole situation, that whole fight, how it played out?
Going into the fight, like I had mixed emotions about the fight, just because both of them are mentally strong. Both of them was on top of their game, basically. But like going into the fight, I thought it was a 50-50 fight for that reason. But then, I made like a final prediction. I don't know if you've seen it. It was like on Gilly's podcast on his thing, and I said that I think Crawford's gonna win because he got the better defense, and it's gonna be one of them nights where it's gonna be on one side of the fight. And I meant that like it could have been either or.
Oh wow,
But
you called
it
it.
played out to what I said. Like it was like perfect prediction. But I think what happened was I think it was like a domino effect for Spence. The car accident. Then he trained, sparred, fought me. Because a lot of people don't know you don't really take a lot of punishment in the fight. You take a lot of punishment during training. That's where you take the most punishment. Sparring 10 rounds, probably 20 rounds a week, maybe, for 8 to 10 weeks long. So I feel like it was like more of a domino effect for him. Like, the car accident, training for me, fighting me, then training for Ugas, another hard training camp. Well, he was really supposed to fight Pac-Man first. So I know he was training for him. And then he trained for Ugas, fought Ugas. Then he had like a 15-month layoff. I heard he got like another car accident. I think it was just the domino effect, the punishment of the car accident, to be honest with you. It finally caught up to him. And he's been at that weight for a long time. So I think it's all of that. But I don't take nothing away from Crawford. He was definitely the better man that night. And it would have had to take another special fighter to beat him that night because everything he did was perfect that night.
Yeah, a lot of people were surprised by like how one-sided it was. A lot of people mentioned, hey, maybe it was the weight that affected Errol. Others have suggested like, hey, he hasn't been the same. You were in there with the ring against him. Like, do you feel that he is the same fighter as he was before he fought you?
I don't think he's the same fighter as the same fighter that fought Lamont Peterson and Chris Algieri. I think when we fought, it was more like I felt like I wasn't myself, and I don't think he was really himself either. Because what I can remember from the fight was I knew I wasn't my best. Like I knew it was like my vision was foggy, it was blurry. Like I just wasn't there for whatever reason, like my brain wasn't just sharp. And I remember like I was hitting him. Like every time I threw punches, I would hit him. And that kind of like that surprised me how kind of like I'm gonna say easy, but I was hitting him with some good punches. And like every time I let my hands go, I would land punches. Because if you look at the CompuBox numbers, we landed the same amount of power punches. We both landed 103 power punches, and I hurt him a few times in that fight. But for whatever reason, I just couldn't finish him. I didn't have that extra burst. And I knew that even the Ugas fight, Ugas hurt him with that uppercut.
What's going on, folks? It's Bull Counter Boxing. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. So, you hear Danny Garcia. He's just letting you know on the inside, the fight between Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. They talk about what happened during the fight from Danny Garcia point of view, right? So, he knows that Errol Spence Jr. went through the gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? He fought Kell Brook. He fought Mikey Garcia. Went on to fight Porter. And then he went on to fight Danny Garcia himself after a car crash. And then he fought Ugas. So the man has been fighting the best in the division. And he goes on to talk about it's not only the beating you take in the ring, even when you win. It's the beating you take in the training camps, you know what I'm saying? It's an accumulation. And that's what Danny Garcia was talking about in this particular interview. He was saying how, by the time he got to Crawford, the man had been through the whole entire division where Crawford just sat back, you know what I'm saying, and was fresh and just biding his time, letting Errol Spence Jr. do all the heavy lifting. And sometimes that heavy lifting can be your undoing because you fighting all the top guys in the division, chipping off your bones and going through the hard training camp. And then, you know what I'm saying, you have an extra training camp where you're getting hurt, you know what I'm saying, have eye retina surgery. So my man was taking damage the entire time while Crawford was out here taking these light touches, you know what I'm saying, retired Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying, broke down Kell Brook, you know what I'm saying, while he was staying fresh and he entered the snack program, which is questionable. You know what I'm saying, what Victor Conte put up in Terrence Crawford. But that's just my opinion. But Danny Garcia knows, you know what I'm saying, all the all the heavy lifting that Errol Spence Jr. did, you know what I'm saying, it came back to him. Plus, trying to make the weight after, you know what I'm saying, 10 grueling years of shrinking down to 147 just caught up with him, in my opinion. So, you know, Danny Garcia, you know what I'm saying, very good um, assessment, you know what I'm saying, of what might have happened that night for Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? He's just telling it like it is from his point of view. He said, when he fought Errol Spence Jr., he didn't feel 100%. He wasn't always there, but he could tell when he was hitting Errol Spence Jr., he was hitting him easily. He said even the uppercut that Ugas hit Errol Spence Jr. hurt him. So, you know, he's making this picture like Errol Spence Jr. was on the decline because he had to fight all the top guys. Whereas Terrence Crawford, he didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? He just hang back and fought little light touches at top rank. So, you know what I'm saying? But not to say that Bud isn't, you know what I'm saying, a great fighter. It's just that, you know what I'm saying, he didn't go through what Errol Spence Jr. went through. And hopefully in the rematch, you know what I'm saying, Errol Spence Jr. can show the great champion that he is, you know what I'm saying, instead of being drained down at 147, you know what I'm saying, waiting to the end of his ability to fight at that weight. But this has been Pool Counter Boxing. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to my channel for more hardcore boxing content. Peace.